a sensation. She's just a little girl. Would you give her a bracelet?
Before we get going, I want to address a matter that's been going on for a bit. This is Blazing Blade VA. He's gotten himself into some various nonsense with Webcake, and maybe some other things. I asked what was going on, and he told me that he started some drama with Webcake. I asked why, and he literally told me he had nothing else to do with his life. And I want to be clear, this isn't a Lily Pete or Jack Nolan strawman nonsense about what I think that Bladestorm is or isn't doing with his life. He literally said he had nothing better to do with his life, including a screenshot to a Google Doc to prove that this was said. It seems really petty, actually, but there you go. I laughed and said what, and he told me what he did was stupid. That was back on June 17th, and I assumed that was that. He seemed to realize that what he was doing was dumb, and he sounded like he was going to stop. And I thought, neat, everybody wins, don't have to do anything. And then this happened on June 24th, where Bladestorm 20 said he wanted to beat Webcake's ass. Dude, you were out the door, everything was cool, it was done, it was handled. This was dealt with. I've dealt with enough trolls that you're likely going to respond back with, well, I only said that I wanted to beat her ass, not that I was going to. Whatever the hell is going on, could you please stop? Could you please stop? When I heard there was some kind of drama with Webcake, I went over with an open mind, and every story has two sides. You straight up told me that you were fucking around, and yeah, I understand to some degree a lot of people in the world can choose to be offended, but I think you're way over the mark here by more than a couple of miles. I'm going to include a link to Bladestorm's Twitter. Maybe I'm not the right guy to talk to old boy here. If you're someone who's level-minded, certainly more than myself, there are plenty of fun and wonderful hobbies in the world, and maybe someone can explain why Bladestorm 20 might want to log off the internet for a day or two. Just maybe. Hi kids, and we're back. So last week, if you missed it, How Not Brony 88 dropped on Fanon Frenzy. Should be up on BitChute. Oh, by the way, here's a takedown notice that was submitted to YouTube about the video, and here is where I won against the claim. So I guess that BitChute link isn't absolutely necessary, but it's still archived there. But for those of you who missed it, the title was called Fluffle Puff Dates a 15-year-old. No one called Fluffle Puff Mixer Mike or Fluffle Mixer a pedophile, I understand. 27 minutes is a long time for an animator to watch. And not being condescending. Hell, I had one asshole who expected me to watch 2 hours of their video, and to be fair, I ended up being wrong because I didn't. Still, I understand that you're super duper busy, Mike, so I'll make this super easy for any of my fans or anyone else who wants to ask Old Mike, aka Fluffle Puff. Have you dated a 15-year-old? All you have to do is type yes or no. Tweet this at Fluffle Puff. Please do so politely. Here, I understand maybe typing out a yes or no might be a bit much.
Give me a... Hey, all I have to type is Y. Hey, Miss doesn't find me attractive sexually anymore.
Okay, now I'm being a little bit of a dick. You can type a Y or an N. The Y will stand for yes, and the N will stand for no. But to give everyone else an abridged version of the last video, Bfish, Fluffle Puff's alleged girlfriend, that's Bfish, Fluffle Mixer's alleged girlfriend, that's revealed they started dating when she was 15. Also, update, the rumor mill, as of last Thursday, June 21st, Fluffle Puff has allegedly broken up with Bfish. Now don't get me wrong, one of the last relationships I had kept it a secret. I won't say which one, but when people found out, I said, fuck it. I'd be glad to show you some really great images of me and the other party being really happy in public. I'd love to show that, but someone else filed some takedown notices on that video, so sadly here we are, for mysterious reasons. But that's not the point here. And also, no, I didn't want that video down. It was actually a lot of footage from my last BronyCon. Though I don't know how I was ever feeling like I was going to keep that a secret. Bfish told me that her story couldn't come out because of the power of love. True love. Undying, eternal love. The kind of love that comes along once in a lifetime. And why, looking back, the relationship was a bad idea. Bfish is now 18, and bringing it to light would serve no reason whatsoever. Even though in the past, Old Mike, when this had been talked about, Old Mike had shelved the relationship with Bfish on more than one occasion. Well, at the very least once. According to Bfish, I recall hearing more in the past, but whatever. So let me ask you guys, in the audience, you reasonable, rational people, some of you adults, some of you smarter than some of the adults, if Mike had true love and did nothing wrong, absolutely, totally nothing wrong, then why did he break up with B-Fish? Allegedly. For those of you not wanting to take just my word for this, keep in mind there's a link to BitChute, as well as if you go to the How Not Brony playlist, you will find the last video. It'll be in the top of the description. B-Fish told me originally Thursday before the video dropped they were never intimate before she had turned 18, and she was certain of it. Only at a later state, only to state later on that they were intimate briefly before she became legal. Now, keep in mind, in Mike's state, that being Pennsylvania, the legal age of consent is 16. So for that to be just before B-Fish was legal, she would have had to have been, yeah, you guessed it, 15. Now let's be fair, B-Fish was under a lot of stress, well with what knowing that her boyfriend might dump her, if people found out that they dated when B-Fish was 15. True love apparently only works when no one knows about it. It's kind of like reverse pixie dust, apparently, at least in Pennsylvania. Anyone from Pennsylvania, feel free to comment down below to correct me about that. I'm starting to get some misconceptions here from old B-Fish and Mixer Mike. I've also heard from Melabulja Agarius from Top of the Barrel that B-Fish said for months she was going to tell Mike that she had problems with him, but would never do anything but come back to the room and bitch. Apparently, true love means keeping it to yourself. These complaints only stopped after Sheldon and Jace and potentially Vita fucked with Mike's room. Well, at least two of these three guys. If I'm wrong, comment down below. I asked B-Fish at what age would it have been okay to look down our nose at Mike for doing this and treat him like a complete monster. Conveniently, she said if Mike would have dated her when she was 14. Look guys, I like Mike's work. Hell, I learned to enjoy his animations before I enjoyed MLP FIM proper. But this isn't the first time someone big up in the world did something questionable. Here, I want to play something for you.
Biographer Joel Williamson, there was a particular type of woman Elvis liked. The really, really young ones. When the newly made megastar went on those early tours, he took along a group of 14-year-old girls, and Williamson says he was a huge fan of tickling and pillow fights. Future wife Priscilla was 14 when they met, and just what went on behind closed doors is debated. What's not debated is that he lost interest in her after Lisa Marie was born and went on to court another 14-year-old.
Now, I want you to think back and think what was going through your parents' or grandparents' minds for winking at crap like this. Did you ever hear shit like this and thought, when it's my time, I won't make the same fucking mistake that the previous generations made? This is John Kricfalusi. He's one of the animators from Ren and Stimpy. If you've looked around, there are numerous videos that document this man's behavior with younger girls, many that he's worked with for years and years. It was common knowledge around the animation community that John was just being John because talent gets a pass, because adoration and praise seems to be a substitute for character. Do you know what B-Fish told me her parents said about all this? When they found out their 15-year-old daughter was dating a 27-year-old man, and again, if I got the age wrong, feel free to correct me down below, she said that they thought it was okay because, and I'm not joking, I'm not making light of this, because they were both autistic. I'd like to tell you all what I'd hope what most parents would do in this situation, but I might get thrown off of YouTube for terms of service. I'm asking everyone in the audience, I want you to picture this being your little sister or your daughter who's dating someone anywhere near that old, hiding behind being introverted and mentally impaired. Which, by the way, I fail to see how dating someone underaged and mentally restricted doesn't hurt Mike's case even more. If B-Fish would have been 16, I would have shrugged my shoulders. Granted, I would have looked down my nose at Mike. And don't worry, I still do. But somehow, someway, he still managed to dip below the legal limit. I know the excuse seems to be that his girlfriend thinks that this is stupid, but I can't let this go. Meanwhile, we're not hearing a fucking thing out of this guy. Hey, look, maybe B-Fish is a crazy fan. Maybe, Mike, you never met her. Maybe this is all in her head. That's possible. All it would take is, no, none of this is true, provided there's no proof to the contrary. All I have is a video, link down below. This can all go away, Mike, but sadly, silence will not get it done this time. It's surprisingly easy to address allegations. Hell, you don't even have to answer this directly to me. Anyone can ask this question and bring me back a screen cap of Mike's answer. In the meantime, I want to leave you some clips of John K's behavior. If anyone knows anything even vaguely familiar with today's topic, by all means, please speak up.
Him and Robin taken before she was of the legal drinking age. She broke up with him in the year 2000 before they had an on-again, off-again relationship. She left him fully in 2002 and never came back. Robin would go on to say, "He ruined a very good bit of my childhood and early adulthood, gave me PTSD and forced me to change careers, putting my life 10 years behind. He is an abuser in the way that he will pull you into a relationship with him and then tell you who to be and what he wants from you."
Fuck's going on with John Kricfalusi? Ren and Stimpy creator John Kricfalusi accused of preying on and sexually abusing underage girls and possessing cheese pizza. Fuck. So apparently, BuzzFeed earlier published a very tough-to-read piece titled "The Disturbing Secret Behind an Iconic Cartoon" that details what reportedly has been an open secret in the animation world for decades. John Kricfalusi, the creator of Nickelodeon's animated series Ren and Stimpy, and founder of animation studio, is it Spumco, or sounds kind of inappropriate, doesn't it? Has been publicly accused of preying on, grooming, and sexually abusing and harassing underage girls for years, particularly young, aspiring animators who are fans of Kricfalusi's work and had looked up to him as a creative mentor. They looked up to the creator of Ren and Stimpy. Two women, Robin Bird and Katie Rice, spoke to BuzzFeed on the record about the horrific treatment they received from Kricfalusi while he pursued them sexually as minors.
It's detailing the narrative of Robin Bird and Katie Rice. Both who at one point or another in time have come in contact with the creator of Ren and Stimpy, John Kricfalusi, otherwise known as John K, short. So starting off with Robin Bird, what has happened here is that, she was an inspiring animator, and she was someone, like many people or many children at that time, 13, 14, and she was interested in becoming an animator, getting into the industry, knowing the ins and outs of storyboarding, just all of it. And of course, like many children at that time, they looked up to the individual known as John K, creator of Ren and Stimpy. So she submitted a tape and she was detailing all of her aspirations, and John K actually responded to her. Now keep in mind that during the time when she submitted the tape, she was 13, and John K himself was 37 years old. So as they began to develop some sort of a relationship in the guise of mentor and mentee, John K began to send her, art supplies, words of encouragement, saying that she's special here and there. Eventually, the parents allowed for John K to take Robin Bird under his tutelage. Then
important thing that we're told here is that basically Jay Moore knew going to BabsCon that he was not in fact supposed to be there, correct, sir?
That is my well, that was what his behavior would indicate, and as far as what Flair told me is he was on the banned list before KP even weaseled her way onto a vendor's hall table. Jay Moore was banned from BabsCon.
Okay, that's mighty juicy. That's unbelievable. So just so everyone knows, freaking Brony Inspector was telling us how freaking Jay Moore, they didn't, Flair and hotel security came in and evicted his sorry ass. Yes.
I was in the middle of a booze run for the BabsCon parties. Like, the party floor is a big thing at BabsCon, and Waffles and Willie and I were hosting a triple room party, and Jay Moore was a guy who had just kind of been vouched for by just someone in chat, and they're like, "Oh, this guy's gonna come in, he'll." But from day one, this actually, I have a funny day zero
Well,
story
wait.
about
You
J-Moore.
were mentioning earlier on. I just want to get this on recording, and we are recording,
Yeah.
by the way, Leo. You
Okay,
said that
so,
when we were in the hotel, he said, and I quote, "Fuck BabsCon."
Right. Well,
So-
right. The whole time, everyone had registered, and I like to, when I'm doing a party room, and this is actually in the rules, like anyone involved on the party floor has to register for the con because it's considered convention space. You're signing up to be part of the event at that point. So everyone has to register. So in order to make sure that I'm following the rules, I like to make sure everyone in my room is registered. And every time I'd come up to this guy, he didn't have his badge yet. I'd be like, dude, you gonna go register? And he would just sit there and play video games and like, no, I'm not. Fuck this con. And I'd just be like, well, you're probably gonna get ejected or whatever. And he's like, whatever, I'll register later. Fuck this con though. Like he would always agree to help with something for the party and then back out later. Because, like, when you're doing a party room, it's assumed that, like, everyone staying with you is going to help out and run the thing, and everyone kind of has a job. And, like, be like, hey, dude, you want to work the door? Yeah. No, wait, I can't. Because he knew if security even saw him, he would get evicted. Now, another thing I know is that there's about maybe 10, well, a half dozen to a dozen people on BabsCon's official blacklist, and anyone on from security to upper staff, if they saw any of those people by face, they would know who they are.
Like final draft and shit. Past your time, got it.
What?
Final draft is like Horse News fucking enemy number 1, and he's banned from BabsCon.
Right.
They have a free network.
Okay, final draft.
Yeah,
okay. I'm like the computer program. I'm like, oh no, it's a brony name. They're all no, they're all ridiculous.
No, I get caught up by like for example, there's like 2 or 3 angels I know. Yeah, but go on.
But so yeah, Jay Moore just kind of hung out in the room, and every time it meant like, I mean, Commando Solo's the guy famous for badge checking this guy, but like, man, I was trying to badge check him from day zero.
We can see you.
Yeah. No, someone's knocking at the door.
Knocking on.
Knocking on bedroom door.
Oh, nice.
But anyway, dude just all Thursday didn't register. Friday didn't register. I asked the people running registration, hey, if this was later after BabsCon, hey, if he had showed up, like, would you have known not to register? And they'd been like, oh, he would have been banned. Like, security basically would have been on this guy the second they were alerted to him being there, no matter who had done it, whether it had been KP or someone on Flare had just happened to see him or notice him. Like, everyone was already on red alert that he wasn't supposed to be there. Besides me, apparently, even though if
there was some anonymous brony who like tipped me off about this shit on fucking DA or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to figure out who that was, kinda, sorta. I was wondering if it was J Moore himself.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, J Moore wants me to talk to him to clear this stuff up, but like I don't. Like his whole deal is like, I can't understand why you're mad at me right now. I'm like, oh really? Like, you got con security and hotel security sucking around my party suite. People who aren't aren't supposed to show up unless we call them. Like, this is bullshit.
Don't take this the wrong way, Brony Inspector, but I get the odd feeling that your crew, if not you, isn't unfamiliar with a little bit of the herb, and you probably didn't want security hanging out with you guys.
Oh, but here's the thing. Flare, when I ran into the same Flare guys who were in my room at BLFC, at the Walmart buying beer, he was like, oh, hey, it's you. I was like, oh, hey, it's you. And he was like, and we were just talking a little bit, and he's like, our whole thing is to keep security from knowing anything that goes on at con parties.
Okay.
Like, he's like, we want that as much as you do. So, like, BabsCon takes their party floor, like, as part of the con. Like, it's a reason a lot of people even go. So, like, as for like, were we worried they'd find our dank weed? Like, I don't think that was the first thing on our mind.
Or worse. Allegedly.
Anyway, allegedly.
Okay, no, allegedly. Sheldon ended up not being able to make it into BabsCon like 2 years ago because he
I know
couldn't get his MDMA hookup. Or look, I'm not trying. Yeah,
you know what? I like, and I'll be like, I don't actually fuck with anything beside like much harder than like, you know, extracts or beer, because just like, dude, MDMA, that shit fucking that puts me in a really fucked up place. I don't really fuck with that.
Well, Sheldon really
shit.
is very passionate about that topic, so he's very fond of it. At least he used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So moving along.
But basically when con security was, or when hotel security had already gotten Jay Moore away. Well, actually, the order that this went in, Willie and I are on a beer run.
Okay.
Restocking the hotel party from Friday. Right at the time we are getting back to the hotel, there's just like a bunch of texts. Everyone's like, oh, something's going down. Both securities are in the room. So we rush over to con ops and we're like, what's going on? And security head is like, oh, it's you guys. You're running that room. Meanwhile, Waffles is upstairs with hotel security, like talking to them. And Jay Moore's up there getting his stuff together. Now, the thing about hotel security taking the pictures, that's something that got way overblown because, like, they emailed Waffles and I and Willie got that message forwarded to him that we needed before, during, and after photos sent to the hotel just to show them what we were doing. And we were just kind of slacking on that. So we had already agreed to send them pictures of the room. We just kind of hadn't done it yet. So the fact that security came in and took them with their own camera was just like, oh, nice, easy for us. We didn't actually care about that. They were worried about a glass tabletop that I specifically moved so it wouldn't get broken. And like, once they saw that, they were just like, yeah, they were shaking their heads and shit, but they were like, whatever. Well, you know, they were worried about getting Jay Moore escorted off premises.
Mm-hmm.
And con security, Flair, we're just standing there going like, what the fuck happened? Like, we're hearing stuff about KP did this or whatever. Like, what's going on? You know, I don't want hotel security. You know, we don't want any of this. And Flair's like, yeah, no, neither do us. And like, in that moment where I'm just like, this is all happening around me, I would like to demand an answer here. What they told me was Jay Moore was on our banned list because of an incident at EQLA. And then they, you know, just kind of fucked off, and we were like, "Oh, okay, let's worry about putting out this fire."
Now he's insisting he has no idea about EQLA.
He insists he doesn't, and you know what's funny? I know how it goes with these things that are all letters strung together. He might have said an MD or BLS, like, you know, like all of these cons go by letters. I seem to remember EQLA, but like, dude who told me that could have just said the wrong con. I know for a fact it was an incident at a previous con. Whether it was EQLA or Nightmare Nights is still up for debate. Was he at Nightmare Nights?
We'd have to talk to him, I suppose, but he's said EQLA to me several times.
Yeah, EQLA seems to be the reoccurring. If I were to ring a bell in my memory, I would say the guy said EQLA because I remembered it was a con that was recent and it was a con that I had been to.
Okay.
So, and that could have been one of two, which would either be EQLA or Nightmare Nights. But it seems like it seems to me that EQLA is the reoccurring thread here, and I feel like not coincidentally, it was also a con that KP was at.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've noticed that there seemed to be a healthy or unhealthy.
I feel like
fixation.
there is a thread here. Yeah.
Yeah. You wouldn't be friends with ZD, would you?
I am not.
I was about to say, fuck, if I was going to say if somebody knew him, or I guess I could open a line of communication, maybe he could ask KP if...
ZD?
Yeah.
I'm friends with ZD.
Yeah, well, okay, pause. Can you ask him, did KP say any reason why, what's his name, J. Moore got kicked from EQLA?
Yeah, that's really the big question of the hour, I feel like.
Because I'm pretty sure I owe her an apology by now. Almost.
Like I will talk shit on KP to the extent that it's a funny meme and it gets a giggle out of my friends, but like,
well, consider for a second though, like it takes a lot to go to a convention, and if she did, if she did in fact, if she
parties at conventions, I know how much it takes to get this stuff to together just for one guy to go. It's a lot. It's a chunk of his change.
Yeah, and I felt really bad until you started telling me some of this stuff, and I'm like, it doesn't. I'm feeling slightly less. I'm definitely open to the idea.
See, here's the thing. Like, I was dealing with him for a day and a half, and I'm not sympathetic to his story because I'm like, what about the part where you tried to snipe Lexi and Willie's bed after I blew up an air mattress for you and said you're sleeping over here? And I'm like, wow, I can't be nicer than that to a person. And he's just like, no, I'll chill here. And I'm like, well, Lexi and Will are going to be back any minute now, and they might want their bed. And he's like, I'm good.
Like, is he just going to play the big fat guy card? Move me?
Get-go.
Yeah.
Dude, like, yeah, Lexi and Willie get to fucking pull that card on him then. They're not going to... you ain't going to pull that card on Big Willie. Hell no.
Well, Jay Moore's a pretty big bastard. I don't know. That's between you.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It wasn't his suite. It was Willie and Waffle and I's suite, so they would obviously get the pull-out bed. After I was like, hey, the Commodore of Floor Peasants has spoken, and thou shalt sleep on the queen-sized air mattress, big fella. And he just didn't get it.
What a dick.
What a dick.
Jesus.
Like, yeah, Jay Moore doesn't know why I'm mad at him.
Christ.
Jay Moore cannot seem to fathom why I don't care for him.
I could...
All right, so...
What happened, Pause?
I messaged ZD about it, and he said that Jay Moore quit EQLA staff a day before the con started because he found out that KP was going to be there. But I don't know.
I've heard that. I've heard all that. I feel like something else happened.
Here, hold that thought. I got to pee real bad.
Yeah. Like that, he left a really long comment saying that exact same thing. Like, well, this couldn't be about how I quit staff. Like, no, I don't think it is either.
No. I wouldn't assume that you get banned just for quitting a con staff. That sounds a little absurd.
Yeah, that would be, but I feel like this person would like to subvert this as much as possible.
Probably.
Because the main reason I am reluctant to talk to him is because I feel as though he likes to change the story whenever he gets called out about something.
Yeah, I get that. I don't know. I've never really interacted with Jay Moore. I'm just kind of here. Hey, Songheart.
Hello.
Well, here's the other question, though. How did KP know that he wasn't supposed to be there?
Well, I mean, it feels pretty obvious that she was involved with whatever occurred at the previous convention. I feel like that's kind of one of those things where that's sort of like, I mean, that's a logical enough conclusion to draw. We just don't know what's going on, you know?
Pause, did you hear anything? Did he care to elaborate about that at all?
That's the thing.
Yeah, pretty please.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, pause.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seemed to just give his normal response, like, "Oh, it's because I quit." But I've never heard of anyone getting banned for something like that. And like, it can't just be getting banned for like making fun of KP. Otherwise, like.
No, I don't buy that either at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe
otherwise,
beforehand.
there's a ton of people who would be banned, but from cons by now.
All right, let me reach out to Jay Moore. Message. Hey, talking to Brony Inspector. Not looking too good, my guy.
Internet cabal.
Yeah, not looking too good, my man. Let me look up privacy so I can unblock Jay Moore.
Wow.
You had him blocked. Oh my god, I'm so glad I didn't Discord this guy. Like, oh, you had him blocked already. That says so much.
Anthony Aguilar had enough of someone's drama. Now, part of it was being in the ZD video, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to be a launching point.
Right,
this is going to be a bank shot that ZD's not going to be happy with. Go ahead.
From what ZD's telling me.
Oh, this really does
Corey.
punch a hole in ZD's whole video, doesn't it? Oh.
Why? Oh, yeah, the part
Him
about,
and
like...
Corey are completely in the dark as to what happened at EQLA that got him banned at Babs. So...
Does KP know, though?
I'll ask.
Yeah.
She must. I feel as though she must.
Like, if he wants to talk, we can move this to a different room.
Bye. Yep. Yep.
So what's cooking?
Yeah. Yup.
Yes, indubitably.
Whoever the hell that was.
Quiet.
I can't find Jay Moore.
I'm gonna grab another beer.
Oh yeah, no, I'm drinking too. I'm having a long Rum Island.
ZD says that he has no clue if KP knows, but KP specifically asked him to stop asking about the drama because she's trying to get away from it for a while. So
tell him I'm prepared to make a public apology to KP. We can make that go away. Him and me both might look like assholes, but KP will look good. Yeah.
We can make it all go away.
We can make it all go away. I'm trying to find fucking Jay Moore's fucking Skype. Son of a bitch.
Fucking bills all the time. Just getting some shit straightened out with the bills.
Oh hey,
Taxes
ZD's willing
everywhere
to
you
come
go.
on and talk about it.
Huh?
Alright, we're gonna... Okay, so I'm gonna stop the recording, and we're gonna move... Wunderbar.
Hello.
Hello.
Why
Hey,
isn't this fucking thing?
Son of a
is
bitch.
this working?
Yeah, we're gonna get to
Yeah,
the bottom
fine.
of this, believe it or not. You're going to bring peace to the Brony community, Brony Inspector.
There we go. Okay.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
the catalyst.
Yeah,
No.
but Brony Inspector is about to bring peace for the time being. Between the, it looks like ZD. I think you and me might have to eat a little bit of humble pie on this one, but moving along.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's possible, but your boss makes
It's-
out, so it's a net win, I suppose, for you.
Hey, man, you know.
Yeah.
Like I've said before, I'm absolutely able to talk reasonably. and shit.
Okay, well, we'll
Yeah,
see.
dude, I got
Yeah, again,
So yeah,
let's put it to this way. The fact that I didn't stop to watch your videos meant I got my video done, which meant I got to talk to Brony Inspector that much faster, which means we get to work with your boss. So I'm glad that I made the decisions that I did, and I hope that you would agree, potentially. Okay.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
Okay, cool.
I mean, like I've said, I'm
just happy to help.
As far as I'm concerned, our beef is done, in my opinion. I'm done. Like, it's just, I don't give a fuck anymore, in all honesty.
Well,
okay, so
we'll argue it.
Fazu,
Yeah.
So Fazu and Aguilar are cool.
We'll hold that. Don't mind him. He's drinking. So am I. So anyway, that worked out so great last time.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. So what do you want to know about this
It's
time?
when the real stuff happens, apparently.
So.
Yeah, what's going on?
No, I understand that KP probably doesn't want to talk to me at all, but this would be like a great PR boon, and I'm just saying, like, hey, what did ZD do at EQLA? That's it. That's all we need.
You mean J Moore?
No, J Moore.
J Moore. Sorry, I'm drinking.
Yeah, no, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this is to the best of my knowledge, and it's been repeated to me from like everyone I've talked to about it. So, apparently, what happened was J Moore was on EQLA staff.
Okay.
And shit like that. And apparently the day before the con started, he found out KP was going to be there, and he just quit. He just up and quit the staff.
Well, we just heard that part, which I'll admit I didn't know till now, so thanks about that anyways.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But with that said, after talking to Flair, because I got tipped off and told about it, they said they only tell parties that are involved, which would lead me to believe that KP was involved if she knew. Yeah?
I honestly have no idea about that part.
Well, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not talking out my ass. That's just what I heard.
No. I heard that too.
Okay.
To that part, I'm not as versed on. I don't even think Corey is actually, because I asked him about it a while ago. Like, as far as I know, for the whole him getting banned shit from Babs, both Corey and I are a little confused on how Babs went about it, or hell, I know EQLA sent out a fucking letter to other conventions about J Moore just up
okay. That's a good smoking gun there. Do we have that letter?
No. I just know that there was a letter.
Okay, so anyone listening, Anthony Aguilar is prepared for $100 of I'm putting up $100 to find out why fucking goddamn J Moore got thrown out of that convention.
Yeah,
now, it must have been really juicy. Holy shit.
Yeah, the only thing that any of us
first come first
can
serve.
scrounge up, like Corey, myself, and et cetera, it's apparently a combination of both J Moore quitting on the last day, as well as KP sending to Babs just shit that's happened, like the horse newsletter about that he made about her, and other shit like that, like private messages or something along those lines. And apparently, according to Babs, that was enough to get him banned. But as for the specifics of that stuff, I'm not well versed on.
Does anyone? Oh, J Moore's probably. Tell you what, ZD. I'm sure, freaking Inspector, you have work later today, or?
I have. Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm actually pretty clear. I'm pretty free today.
Because I'd like to get a hold of J Moore into this call so we could maybe iron that out. I'm like, hey, look, Jay.
Today I actually had time to like. I'm like, well, this is gonna be one of those all day things.
I didn't think
I
so.
remember. I think there was another convention. I can't remember which one.
I can't help but feel like there's another convention that threw up a red flag on this guy, but it is escaping.
No, I mean, I think there was another convention that the letter was sent to, as well as
I tried to ask him.
had.
I tried to ask on his behalf about BC, but then he freaked the fuck out, and he's like, "Don't ask." And I'm like, "Why? What's the problem?"
Yeah.
Oh,
about BronyCon?
Really?
Yeah, I was about to, and he's like, "No, delete that tweet."
Definitely hear from a different person at Babs, like, "Oh yeah, there was something at BronyCon," like, but that was just like a rumor. I didn't give it much credibility, but the whole rest of Babs, I was just like asking around.
Remember,
deal with
This is the first
J-Mo
I'm hearing
guy.
of anything from BronyCon.
well, the only thing I'd gotten a hold of, which I'm sure she won't tell me. Do you remember from Jack's video the chick that he cited who worked with Flair, but she wasn't on Flair? Yeah, she's the one who originally sent me to that. So she works at BC, right?
Like, wow, it's you even old fucking jumped up Jack Nolan, the Hollywood professional, is a fucking piece in this puzzle.
Well, that's why I was like, this is
your bodyguard.
Yeah, it's a long fucking rabbit hole, and I was like, well, I want to fucking find out at this point.
We are string walling hard on this one.
Wouldn't it be amazing if it was something unbelievably juicy that the cons just covered up? My God.
I feel like and you know what? I have theories, but but they are just speculative, so I don't want to go blabbing on about it.
The best way I could have thought that Jack screwed up was like maybe he like, I don't know, grabbed like the mascot's fucking thing and hit it. I'm like, okay, that's dickish, but that's not something that you should like get him banned across universally, unilaterally and shit. Like, but that's possible, right? Like, you could forgive that.
I don't know, man. Like, I from like another whisper in the wind on this was just like, oh yeah, that guy, he's been stalking horse famous peoples for years. Like that, like that was just like, but that was once again just some bullshit I heard. I didn't give it much credibility.
I didn't know you hung out with Movie Bob. Used from Boyston, anyways. Yeah, no, I have no information on Jack being overly healthily interested in anyone other than, ZD's boss.
Not my boss. She's a buddy. She's
okay,
a friend.
well, okay. I'm trying to put it as politely and non-aggressive. See, ZD, when you have accusations, that's how you do it. Healthy or unhealthy fixation.
You gotta say you're definitely below this person before you. Yeah, like you're protecting yourself by saying that. You do understand that, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm just
being friends with this person puts you on the hook. This person just being your boss. Oh, now you're good to go.
No, I mean, this whole thing of her being my boss and shit, people have said that quite a bit at this point. I'm just like,
it's not an accurate statement. Just take it as your safety blanket and run. Okay?
Yeah,
I don't care. Fuck you.
In the clear.
Yeah, if I said Lux's boss was freaking Anthony C, she wouldn't be here arguing with me about it. I mean,
I'm not arguing. No, it's not arguing about it. It's just like a clarification thing.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, if people want to refer to that, I mean, I don't mind. It's just like,
okay,
it's, I guess, a pet peeve.
ZD, I want you right now.
All right, someone is not your boss unless they made and mailed business cards.
Okay, fine. I will go weeb with you. Is it inappropriate to say upperclassman?
Upperclassman?
That's senpai, basically.
Are they in high school now?
That's good. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there is a pecking order in the Brony fandom, and don't make me argue this shit.
Don't you act like there's not a hierarchy within a closed social system? I can't believe it.
It's a caste system, let's be honest.
Would I say she's above? Subscriber count maybe, but I fuck with her way too often.
No. We're talking about socially speaking.
Yes.
Like, oh, absolutely.
If you complain, like,
absolutely.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
there's no fucking. There's no
now you're learning the social game.
People know KP and they know who the fuck she is.
Bronies are it is a closed social group. Like it.
It's well, hold it. Well, here the counter argument to that, Brony Inspector, is that once you get your foot in the door, you're only ever 2 or 3 people.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, you're 2 steps away from some shit that's happening. Just
I know a guy named John Moline who can fucking get in touch with like fucking what's his name, Little Shy and fucking Minty Root, and I'm like, he can if he really fucking digs down, he can reach to big people, and that's
who are we talking about?
Ask Sheldon about John Moline sometime.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The John Moline. He'll know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. I'm not.
He's a legend.
Yeah. Dude, like there should be a panel at a con about weaseling your way into shit.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, okay, I know you probably don't know, and I don't expect you to know, Zach, but who would I fucking talk to so I don't pester KP? Like, who would be another next fucking person on this so we could get to the bottom, other than, I guess, us all confronting Jay Moore?
Well,
okay.
Fuck.
As far as talking, about Babs,
I definitely am working on it, but I can't get into specifics.
No, I got you. That's fine.
Okay, so specifically BabsCon or this, what information are you looking for?
We're trying to get to EQLA. That's the honeypot.
The EQLA stuff.
Yeah, we pretty much have an idea. It's changed a little bit for Babs, but we have to find out what happened at EQLA.
Without going straight to KP, I honestly don't know.
Well, there had to be somebody else that worked with her back then, right?
The only person I can really think of is Corey, but even he doesn't really know too much about it. Other than the fact that that Jay Moore quit before the con began.
Well,
Jay Moore
Mr. Hollywood professional knows?
Police empties in the room and quit. Didn't do that. He agreed to help work the door and didn't do that. Dude's a fucking flake and a half. That ain't bannable offense, bro.
Yeah, I know. Again,
Corey
Corey and I are both
it's enough to piss people off and make people go, "You suck," but that's not a reason to ban somebody.
The only thing I can really think of is maybe EQLA, when they were sending out the fucking letter to other conventions, they phrased it like he was doing.
Dude, what letter? We gotta see this. Man.
Again, I don't have the fucking letter. I just know there was a letter that EQLA sent out to other cons basically saying that he quit the day before or something along those lines. I don't have specifics on what in the letter was said, but I do know apparently whatever the fuck it was, it definitely gave BabsCon a bad taste in their mouth.
Man.
So unless there's
there has to be
like I said, the only other thing
Mr. Hollywood professional knows.
Fuck.
No, this is before him. I did reach out.
No, this is not before him.
I did.
No, it's not.
No, it's not, because when KP first asked fucking Hollywood jumped up Jack Nolan whether he was gonna be her bodyguard, it was at EQLA. She's like, I'm not going to any more of these without someone to watch my back.
Yeah.
And he alluded to it in that video where he's tried to do some street peek and go you got threats on you, girl, when he's all what, you got threats on you, girl? When he dropped that line, he alluded to, yes, it is likely somebody threatened her at this convention.
But from what I'd heard, and I'd talked to different people like Josh and such, that he did it once, and then because of the stress and stuff, he dropped it. From what I'd heard. Which, by the way, that's the person I just reached out to just now.
Oh, I wouldn't.
Mail saying you got.
But he's too much for old Jack.
I could absolutely message fucking Jack and ask him, hey, if he knows anything. But honestly, again, if he does know anything, it's probably the same stuff we know.
Yeah.
Honestly, the only stuff I can really think of for Jay Moore to have been banned. I mean, even if he gets that one ban repealed at Babs, I think the fucking him getting in with a stolen badge is gonna nullify that anyways.
No, he's never coming.
He said,
just for the record, the person currently in charge of Babs said to me expressly, Jay Moore is never allowed at our convention.
Jay Moore told me
he's never coming back.
Here, let me open up fucking.
See, it feels like
all right, ZD. No, hold up, ZD.
Okay,
I'm gonna have to ask you a moral question, and I need you to stick to your guns on this one.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now, let's say that I had Jay Moore in DMs saying that he was banned for just a year, and that contradicted this story. Should I shut up about that? If I give you this, you're gonna bite me.
I would let that go, because I do believe that BabsCon would go, oh, it's just a 1 year ban. I believe they would forward that information to him and just hope he never came back and not deal with him anymore.
Well, yeah, but even still, if you told somebody you're banned for a year and he came back the next year and they fucking dicked him around, I wouldn't be cool about that.
If he has email.
Wait a minute. Did Jay Moore just say that he was? Did Jay Moore just say that he was banned for only a year?
Hold it. Like I said, I'm waiting to hear you say, ZD. I want that information. I'm not gonna hold you against.
Well, no, this is actually the first time I'm ever hearing about this, because last time I talked to Jay Moore, he said Babs wasn't even responding to his emails or anything of the such.
No, exactly. Yeah.
No, okay. Well, I'm waiting to hear those magical words out of you, ZD.
Yeah,
You
As
want to
far as
know,
I
and you're
know-
not going to fucking throw it in my face. Yeah.
No, fuck. Look, I'm just here to give information. I don't give a fuck.
No,
That's not a yes or a no.
yeah, that's not. Yeah, give me a break, dude.
Yes or no? Wait.
Well, okay, so I keep
No,
asking.
you're
Hold
doing that
on.
thing that you do.
Yeah,
Your
I.
smarminess is not.
No,
gonna
I
get
think
you
I just
anywhere
missed
right
something.
now.
I think.
All
I
right,
think
so
I
I'm going to
misheard.
ask it again. If I'm being really confusing, there's enough other people in the call to sit there and say this. If I go into this DM with Jay Moore, you're going to be like, well, of course Anthony can't keep his mouth shut. Like, you want to know this. You're not going to use this against me.
No.
Okay, and it's not going to be any kind of knock to my credibility, right?
No.
Okay,
No,
cool. All right. All right, let me take a look here. Maybe I was wrong. Let me make absolutely sure here. Guys, for years, ever since I went to cons with KP in 2014. Discord, Facebook accounts. Response. Yeah, I'm already waiting for a response from Sonia, and they confirmed when I called. Because they said, yeah, and they're like, stop pestering us. We don't want to be bothered by Jay Moore's friends. And I'm like, I'm not Jay Moore's friend.
Yeah.
well, I'm doing them a favor because they didn't want to be bothered. I'm like, look, man, I'm just here because of me. But I didn't agree with them. I was at EQLA for about 45 minutes across the entire weekend, so I doubt they saw me. That's what he said. Let me keep looking.
Yeah, and once again, like, his doubts that anyone saw him are what he rides on, apparently, at every convention he goes to. What did he do? That's
Oh,
not, like,
by the way, ZD, and again, I've tried to be cool about this, about the alleged fan for the autism remark. Whether she did, whether she did or not, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt that the fan got to be too much. She snapped, which is perfectly human and reasonable, if that's what happened. Jay Moore here was fucking going. He was sitting there trying to get me to talk to him. And he's like, "Oh yeah, no, I could totally get you this stuff on KP." And I'm like, I do have to warn you, I don't want to give the kid's name here because that's kind of pseudo doxing, kind of. Yeah, let's not do that.
No, I would not do that.
Yeah.
That would.
Yeah. Don't give names. Yeah.
I want to Babs myself. I know many people on the staff. Gotten one fixed. June 15th. I wish Flair would have told me I was banned. To go to the floor. What the fuck is the incident? People mentioning KPs understand the circumstances. Yeah.
Hilarious. Yes, if I had checked his badge and turned in the names of everyone in my room to Flair like I was intending to do, then they would have informed him that he was banned, but he never registered.
I could swear he said somewhere he was only nicked for about a fucking year. Maybe I imagined it, because I do have a lot of crap coming at me right now. But I don't want to misquote him, because he's gotten himself in enough shit he doesn't need my help.
Dude, he's dug a hole he ain't getting out of. I mean, like, if...
Shit. Well, don't do that to him when you're talking later. He's not going to want to hear that.
Like, honestly, whenever I talk to Jay Moore, like, don't get me wrong, I can have a decent conversation with the guy. But, like, his story of how things happened at Babs always seemed to never coincide with other people's stories.
They misalign with everyone else's account of the event.
Yeah, everyone else's accounts of the events look like they're always different at some level. Like, hell, the biggest one is that he always said,
here's the most beautiful part about your observation. You can piece everyone else's account of events together. You can't fit Jay Moore's account of events into any of it.
I think the biggest one for me is the fact that he said, he never even looked at KP. He completely ignored her. But, like, I heard from KP, I heard from Jack, I heard from, like, several other people as well, that there was a time where they saw him staring directly at her fucking head. Like,
that guy liked to stare.
Did I give you the, fucking, what was it, the anonymous fucking email? Would you know what his writing style looks like?
That's him. You realize that's him, right?
Okay, I was just guessing.
Everyone who's like, what about the anonymous email? I'm like, Jay Moore wrote that. Are you kidding me? Like, I can hear his voice saying that shit. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, if he didn't write that, then someone he was sitting next to did.
Because he did say, he's like, look, I'm friends with that guy, but just keep him out of this. And I was like, okay, that's possible. And I wasn't really thinking too much into it. Because, Josh vouched for him. And he's like, no, Jay Moore's a good guy. I was like, all right, I'll take your word for it.
No, I heard that the first time I was asking people, who the fuck is this guy? And they're like, no, he's a good guy. Fuck that, he ain't a good guy.
Jesus.
So what's this anonymous email? It's the first time I'm hearing of it.
Oh, here, let me fucking float over and grab that bitch. It was in the video when I covered KP, I think, one of the last times. But let me head over to DA. Shouldn't be too hard. Shouldn't be buried underneath too many invoices. I remember them going, whoever this was is like, oh yeah, Keyframe and Lightning Bliss, they're all cunts, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, look, guy, I'm prepared to help you out here, but
fuck this con, they're all cunts. Yeah, I could hear him. I could hear him saying that.
Let's see. He did when from what I was watching, I was like, this is a fan because he wound up calling fucking Silver Quill Tim Tom, because I've heard from different people his name was Tim and other people said it was Tom, so I just changed it to Tim Tom to cover all my bases.
I've had a nice little Venture Brothers reference there on top of it. It's so delicious.
Let's see if I could find this. Empty Brook and Trojan. I do have too many fucking...
So yeah, are you gonna email me the fucking...
I'm getting to it. I'm trying to fucking... Okay. Yeah, I'm going through these. I'm on page...
He has one monitor. It takes a long time.
Yeah, 1 second. Whoever the fuck that was, they deactivated their account, which hopefully that wasn't that.
Yeah, hot on the trail.
Yeah, I'm looking...
He knows we're on his trail.
May 26th. I still remember Audio Wave's crazy ass. That's the one who wound up getting fucking, I think, Massacre Brony canned, that fucking Horse News was covering. Patchwork Hard, I might have gone back too fucking far.
You know what? At Babs, I told Horse News, me and Willie ran to Horse News, and we were like, hey, he was banned already. And they were like, I guess he was banned already.
Yo, Horse News is gonna get themselves fucking banned from conventions.
Well, they're not allowed. They weren't allowed to do any coverage at Babs.
Oh yeah,
But what? You know what? You know what I will say about Horse News? They didn't throw a bitch fit when BabsCon informed them of that. They were just grown-ups and hung out and had a good time. So they didn't miss the point of the fandom. They don't do anything bad when things don't work out for them.
No, oddly enough, the worst thing I've ever had with fucking Horse News is that when I was dating Kichi, Rarefag tried to kiss her hand. We said stop, and he stopped.
Yeah, exactly. They will push they walk the line in a way that I have a lot of respect for. But
I'm going to be completely upfront with you, ZD. I'm expecting you to be more of an idiot than Horse News at BC. Straight up to your face. I'm absolutely positive. I will bet money.
I mean, most I do at conventions really is go maybe browse the vending halls, stuff like that.
I'll see you in the vending hall.
Oh yeah, I mean, for the most part, I hang out, I meet people and shit, all that. Hell, I think the biggest highlight
BronyCon is that. That is the only place I get to be at that convention.
Yeah. So
3 days of vending.
I mean, but...
Oh, wait a minute. I think I've got the Google Drive doc. Let's see. I'm assuming you got WinRAR?
Yeah, I have WinRAR. But, fuck. WinRAR.
Here's part of it. Fucking hell. Paste.
Okay. Let's see this. But yeah, at the fucking last convention KP was at, apparently there was someone from...
Brony Anonymous, whoever the fuck that was.
Someone from Horse News that, was passing out these fucking...
the Everfree Northwest incident.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, you know who got, and then after that, there was some retaliatory thing that, fucking Mary and Waffles had to deal with for an hour and lose a bunch of, it would be nice if this whole KP thing would just end, because that had nothing to do with getting Jay Moore banned from BabsCon. Like everyone else connected to the KP shit at Babs would just like it to end, because the only connection that they have to this shit is that Jack Nolan badge checked Jay Moore, something a lot of people were trying to do. So it like, dude didn't belong there. It has something to do with KP, but we don't know what.
Holy shit, this is a long fucking email.
Yeah, I think I cut out part of it because there was something on there that I was like, I don't know if I should release that out.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, here, let me stop the recording really quick.